Hi guys and welcome back. Thought we'd do a game room tour. I've got a few more consoles, a few more computers and a lot more games. Let's take a look. The episode unfortunately is a little bit longer than I initially planned, so I'm going to split this into two parts. Here we have part one. Enjoy. Right, start at the very top. You've got a PlayStation 2 there, chainsaw joystick, Resident Evil 4 of course. Atari plug and play, and a DB8. You've got to have a bit of Star Wars in your room, haven't you? Coming down, I'm a big Aliens fan, as you can see from that. And there's the first of our consoles. It's the Sega Master System. I've had that now quite some time. Brilliant working order. Coming down again, I try and keep all Sega on this side if I'm honest. And there you've got, well, I suppose it's four consoles. On the left, at the very top, you've got the Sega 32X. That's obviously the 32-bit conversion. You've then got your Sega Mega Drive. That's regional switched, so I can play all those North American and Japanese games. And the Sega Mega CD at the bottom. Then going over slightly to Sega Saturn. Beloved Sega Saturn. I've had that since brand new. And it's got an action replay cart in the back of that. So again, I can play all those Japanese and North American games. Now, bringing it down a bit, in fact, I'll even wind this down so we can get a slightly better look for you. That spared no expense on the camera operations, as you can see. What you've got there is Sega Dreamcast. I actually purchased that off my good friend Gord. Gord sold it me in full working order and the sound didn't work. What a surprise that some of his tat is not in full working, Gord, but hey Gord. But I got the sound fixed. I tried to get rid of the yellowing, failed miserably, so I decided to give it a respray. I like really my consoles to be black. I know that deep down they're not going to yellow. So really happy with that. And as you can see there, there's my beloved PlayStation 1. I got that chipped. We call it modified, I suppose, these days. And I'm just really happy to have that. It's in full working order. I keep that if I want to play any light gun games. But really happy with it. Next shelf down, there you can see the Amstrad GX4000. It's getting a little bit harder to pick up these. I've got two there in full working order. And I've got myself a TurboGrafx 16. That is basically the North American version of the PC Engine. That was sent to me from my good friend in Canada. So I'm really happy to have that. Incidentally, while I'm on them there, these switches, all of those control the power to all the consoles and anything else I decide. I don't have to plug and unplug and plug and unplug any of these consoles. I flick a switch, power goes to the console. What then happens is they then go over to my boxes. It's them at the back. And that takes care of all the audio and picture. It's a SCART switch box basically, and it'll automatically go to the next console switch on. I got 4 of them in total. Brilliant bit of kit. If you're looking to connect up all your consoles, I highly recommend it. And while we're there, obviously you can see there my beloved PlayStation 2 Slim on its own stand. Atari 7800. If you've seen my previous game room tour, there's a 2600 there. I decided that once I picked that up, because it plays 2600 games, it's a newer console, I want to keep me 2600 going for as long as possible. So that's almost in storage at the moment, the 2600, bless it. Moving over again, sorry that it's jittery. The ill-fated Jaguar, not to worry, you know, they tried to get us to do the numbers, but they failed. And then on the floor there, you can see a Wii. I picked that up for my good friend Laura Gill. Works absolutely fantastic. Try to maximise my storage as much as possible. But you know, you gotta have a table as well to put your beer, or in this case, mugs of tea. It's a little early for beer, but as you can see, it looks very similar to a 3.5 inch, and underneath it, even though I've pulled it out just to show you guys, I keep a storage box. I'll just put this into shot and I'll move my mug of tea before I spill it. I don't know how well you can fit that. It's a big storage box. But basically all I keep in there, and I need to tidy it quite a lot, is basically an absolute ruck of controllers and light guns. Yeah. Zip stick. God, I can't remember what they call that now. The Duke, that was it. There you go. Light guns, crackers. But you've got to have storage. Well, there's me, my main gaming TV. It's a Sony Bravo. I'm a big fan of Sony products. It's a full 1080 HD TV. I'm really happy with the picture. 42 inch, if memory serves me correctly. I've just got a little bit of YouTube actually going on there, the old classic Commodore 64 stuff. But it's a fantastic television, it really is. Really happy with it. And it was purchased very, very cheaply. I've gone for a slightly older generation purely because, well, I want one with a SCART connector to help me play all these old consoles as and when I need to. But it's also fully HDMI as well. So I'm more than happy to have it. Right, moving downward. I don't know how well you can actually pick that up. I'll just move the whole setup a little closer while I'm wobbling like crazy. But basically what you've got there is, that's a Joytech system. In fact, can we put this down? Here we can. Joytech. Basically I switched that on. It's another switching box. They're very sought after, very hard to come by these days. Sorry, I'm wobbling this thing like crazy again. Actually quite expensive. I actually found that at a thrift store. I paid, I think it was under £10 for something which sells on eBay for about £150 to £200 these days. They're an extremely good system. And obviously what you can also see on there as well is Apple TV. Little switcher box as well. You know, it's for my HDMI stuff. You can also see there at the far left the ill-fated Ouya console. It's actually not that bad a console, but I understand why it didn't take off. And then I've got these little quirky, Rabbit Engineering. It's from the States. 3D printed. Commodore 64 one's my favourite. In fact, I loved it that much when I saw it. I picked up for one of my friends, Andy. I got him one as well. Gave him that as a bit of a present because me and him used to hammer the 64. We both met in school. Then I think the second we found out that we were both into computer games. He owned one, I owned one, and it just went from there. So then moving it down further, let's get my skills going again with this. So Taking you down a little bit. Obviously, I don't know how well this camera's going to pick up that television, but what you can see there is, again, Sony. That's a Triniton, and that's a 32-inch TV. Sorry, CRT TV. Now, that's really for my real older consoles. As you can see there, I've got the Amiga CD32 going away there, just to obviously show that it does work, but to also at the same time, just to show you guys more than anything, the way switcher boxes work, I'm just going to step in and I'll switch on the Master System. So, sorry about the shadow, but there you go. And immediately the box takes over, and now I've got, even though I've got two consoles running, it'll go with the more recent console. As you can see, the game's loaded in off the cartridge, and away we go. Alien 3. It weren't that bad a game, were it? Right, top of the shelf. Obviously you can see there, PlayStation 2 fat. It was picked up from my wife's sister and husband, Sue and Gary. Thank you very much for that. Legacy of Kain, if you're into him. Who don't love Battlestar Galactica, eh? And obviously there's a certain Assassin's Creed collectible there. What you've got underneath that then is Nintendo. I try to keep as much as my Nintendo as possible on this side, but you've got the N64, the NES, and the Mini. Really happy to pick that up. Absolute fantastic. What you've then got... Oh, go and get your balance right, Billy. Right, what you've then got below there is the Nintendo GameCube, and I don't know how well you can pick that up, I'll just point it out to you, but underneath there, that's actually your Game Boy slot, so you can play your Game Boy games. And yes, Zara, I have stole your Spider-Man. Obviously next to that then, you have got the fantastic Amiga CD32. I've had that now for some time, I'm really happy with that. And again, showing no expense in my camera skills, going down. As you can obviously make out there, that's Xbox Original. That was actually picked up from my daughter's boyfriend, my oldest daughter Sarah, her boyfriend Tom. It was actually donated to me, so I'm really happy with that. Full working order, fantastic condition. And then the Xbox 360, the side of it, I actually purchased that off a good friend of mine called Jason, aka Quarter Pounder. More than happy with that, fantastic condition, and obviously with it being the S, the likelihood of that breaking down is going to be very few and far between. And I'll just pan over now so you can see it properly. It's not the original PlayStation 3, I did own one, the 60GB backward capable. But you know what, it'll play PlayStation 1 games, and any PlayStation 1 games that I feel of good enough quality, I'll play that on the HD TV, no problem. What you can see there is the Panasonic 3DO. Brilliant console. And then what you've got at the side of it there is a Retron 5. That enables me to play NES, Super NES, Famicom, and obviously I can play Master System with an adapter, Master System games, Mega Drive games, Game Boy games. You can even, again with the adapter, play the Game Gear games, and it'll convert it into HDMI for you. Brilliant piece of kit. If you're really into your retro gaming, you definitely want one. And moving on to the last bit of kit there, what you've got there is basically a converted arcade machine. It's been consoleized, I don't even know if that's a word. SNK Neo Geo. Basically what it does is it plays MVS games. So those old arcade machines that you played as a kid, or maybe you still play, that would basically go into the 2 slot there at the back, and you could select obviously which game you wanted to play at the arcade machine. You can do exactly the same here. Well, there we have it. That's all the main consoles out of the way. That's the end of part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'll be going through the games, handhelds, and we'll be looking at those Commodore classics. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up please, and subscribe for more. And I'll catch you again. Take care.